Hey everyone, Ashley here. Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies. So now that 2022 is coming to an end, I thought it'd be the perfect time to take a look back at some of the movies I enjoyed the most this year. Now, I'm going to share my top 10 favorite films of 2022. This isn't a best of list. It's just a what Ashley liked the most. So again, my favorite movies of the year. Now, before I get into that list, I do want to share a few honorable mentions. These are movies that I also loved. They're movies that I also really enjoyed, but they didn't quite make the top 10. So in no particular order, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. This was a movie that I didn't really have any expectations going into it and thought it was a fun film. It was really quite a pleasant surprise. Had some really great performances, a really great soundtrack, and I really liked the social commentary that it was making. Again, just complete surprise of a film. Till is one of the films that almost made my top 10 list. Just a powerful film with an equally powerful performance from Danielle Deadwyler. And I really loved how this film approached this story. You know, many people know the story of Emmett Till, but this one was told from the perspective of his mother, and I thought that was very effective. Turning Red, another solid film that came out this year. This one was from Pixar, Disney Pixar, and I really love this story. This is really fun, interesting coming of age story, and I really wish this movie would have been given a theatrical release. The Menu was another strong contender for my top 10 list. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it had many wonderful performances, especially from Anya Taylor-Joy and Ralph Fiennes. Okay, so now that the honorable mentions are out of the way, let's get to my top 10 favorite movies of the year. At number 10 is Emily the Criminal. This is a movie I saw earlier this month, and I thought it was a well-made crime thriller with a tight script and a wonderful performance from Aubrey Plaza. And it clocks in at just over 90 minutes, which goes to show you don't need 3 hours to tell a really good story. At number 9 is Decision to Leave from South Korean director Park Chan-wook. This is a movie about a detective who becomes obsessed with a woman as he's investigating the death of her husband. And I really love the approach to the story, which it's basically a murder mystery with a romance at the center of it. It has two really fascinating characters and plenty of interesting twists throughout the story. At number 8 is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. This is the follow-up to Black Panther, and there were a lot of challenges going into this sequel because obviously you had the death of Chadwick Boseman and how you continue the story and who's going to take up the mantle of Black Panther. All those questions were answered in this film, and I thought Ryan Coogler did such an amazing job with this story. I really liked the visual effects and I really liked the scope of it. I just think it was a really well-made film. At number 7 is The Banshees of Inisherin. This is a movie that on the surface seems like it has such a simple premise, but there are so many layers packed into this story. It gives you so much to contemplate about life, friendships, regret. It's both sad and really hilarious. And it has a really wonderful performance from Colin Farrell. At number 6 is The Batman, which came out earlier this year. I really loved Matt Reeves' approach to this story. It basically centers on the detective story, and it has some really great visuals and some really well-crafted action sequences. Robert Pattinson is amazing as Batman and as Bruce Wayne. Really loved how gritty and dark this film was, and it was just wonderful. At number 5 is The Woman King, and this is a film that did get a lot of attention because of the controversy surrounding it, but really, I think people should take a closer look at the film itself, at the performances, the costumes, at the story at the center of the film. Yes, the film did take some liberties with the actual story of the actual African tribe in which it's pulling that story from. But I really think it's a really powerful film and has a wonderful performance from Viola Davis. Up next is Tar from writer-director Todd Field. It features an Oscar-worthy performance from Cate Blanchett, who plays a fictional conductor named Lydia Tarr, who throughout the movie is shown as this genius, as someone who has had a lot of success in her career, but soon the cracks begin to show and her life begins to fall apart. And the movie is a fascinating examination of one's fall from grace. At number 3 is Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery. And it's a rare feat for a sequel to be just as good or better than the movie that came before it. But Glass Onion is a perfect example of that. I had a blast watching this movie when it came out in theaters, and I've had a blast watching it again on Netflix. It is so much fun. And, Daniel Craig does a great job playing Benoit Blanc, this detective who is kind of put in the middle of another mystery. It has a wonderful ensemble cast, including Kate Hudson and Janelle Monáe and Dave Bautista. Just wonderful, wonderful performances. And again, it's a lot of fun. At number 2 is Top Gun Maverick. This was one of my most anticipated films of the year, and I was not disappointed. This movie tapped into nostalgia with a really good story, but it also delivered really impressive cinematography and action sequences. I saw this multiple times in theaters and I was impressed every single time by just how well made this film was, and it was a great time. And at number 1, my absolute favorite movie of 2022, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Oh my goodness. I was not prepared for the sheer brilliance of this film. Michelle Yeoh traveling through the multiverse, saving the world. But it was more than just that. It was a story about family, about regret, about looking back at your life and figuring out where your place in the world is. And the visual effects, the editing, the production and design were all amazing. Michelle Yeoh delivering an outstanding performance, playing all these different characters at all these different times. I mean, this movie was trippy, it was weird, but it was awesome. It was amazing. So there you have it. That's my list of my top 10 favorite films of 2022. If you want to share your top films, you can do so in the comment section below. While you're here, like this video by hitting that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this.